On the 3rd of February 2026, I submitted to the Criminal Cases Review Commission in Birmingham tons of evidence, some of which is on my website circusofthemind.net, that shows why my two fake Sheikh Mazher Mahmood related convictions are unsafe and always have been, and illustrate why, if I'd have been told what I should have been and had disclosed to me by the police and CPS, which they should have done under CPIA 1996 regulations, stuff that was material to the credibility and honesty of the main witness, Mazher Mahmood, stuff that proved that they knew in 1994 he could not and should not ever be relied upon as a witness of truth ever again, and then around a dozen cases after that collapsed as well, none of which has ever been disclosed to me or any other victims. That's just one of the reasons my convictions are unsafe. There's many more shown on circusofthemind.net, such as I have proof that illegal phone hacking, unlawful information gathering and other dishonesty and illegal stuff was done, like drugging my drinks and such like, and printing stuff that was completely untrue. If I'd have been able to show this and known about this, if stuff had been disclosed to me as it should have done, then my case would never have got to court. And if it had, I most definitely would never have changed my plea from not guilty to guilty with mitigating circumstances on the first day of trial, which is what happened. Because of the information at circusofthemind.net and tons of other stuff, there are dozens of reasons why my convictions are unsafe that I've submitted to the CCRC with evidence. God knows how long it's going to take them to come to the one and only conclusion they really should come to, that this needs referring back to the Court of Appeal, because the simple fact is, if I'd been told about the collapsed 1994 case, where the police and CPS both communicated in writing with each other stating that Mazher Mahmood could not and should not ever be relied upon as a witness of truth ever again, then I would never have changed my plea, and I would have been able to show that he was dishonest, and I'd have never gone to jail. I'd have never got convictions in the first place. And that's just one of many reasons why they're unsafe. Okay, so I'm going to ask something specific both to ChatGPT, but also then to OpenCase. Now, OpenCase is a law-trained AI. But I'm going to ask them both the exact same thing, namely that if it can be proven that the police and Crown Prosecution failed their obligations under CPIA 1996 regulations to inform someone accused of a crime of things that could affect their chance to defend themselves, namely if it can be proved that prior to a 1999 case, the chief witness, Rupert Murdoch's now disgraced fake Sheikh Mazher Mahmood, had already been shown to be a serial liar, and a case in 1994 had collapsed where the police and CPS can be proven to have stated in writing to each other that he should not and could not ever be relied upon ever again as a witness of truth. If that can be proven, and the fact more cases collapsed over the years without the CPS ever disclosing such to victims, and it can be shown that in 2025 the CPS categorically refused in writing to disclose anything about the fake Sheikh to one of his victims, namely me, who was jailed based on his lies in 1999. If all this can be proven, is that grounds for the person to have their 1999 convictions overturned as unsafe? ChatGPT's come back and said, based on that scenario, your strong legal argument for challenging the convictions. It goes on about CPA 1996, the Criminal Procedure and Investigations Act. They should have told me this stuff. You can read that on the screen. But ultimately, this was the materiality of the witness's credibility. I should have been told about this, because if I had, then I would never have changed my plea from not guilty to guilty on the first day of trial. I'd have been able to defend myself, and ultimately I would have won the case, or it would have been thrown out of court had this been disclosed as it should have been. OpenCase, the legal AI, says that the short answer is yes. Proven material non-disclosure by police CPS under the Criminal Procedure and Investigations Act 1996 that undermines a key prosecution witness, such as evidence that Mazher Mahmood was previously deemed unreliable, can found a successful appeal against a 1999 conviction if it renders the conviction unsafe. The route would typically be via the Criminal Cases Review Commission that I submitted to on the 3rd of February 2026, and it goes on that I should have been told this and gives the grounds for it. Now, that's just one of the things, one of the many reasons why my convictions are unsafe. If you go to my website, circusofthemind.net, the link's above or below this video, on there There are links to documents, legal documents, and there's videos explaining the other grounds, well, some of the other grounds of appeal I have, and other reasons why my convictions are unsafe and always have been, along with proof that my drinks were drugged by the fake Sheikh. The phone hacking, unlawful information gathering was used to create a malicious prosecution, and because it was a malicious prosecution, this should have been thrown out, never gone to court, and it would have been if I'd have had the stuff disclosed to me that I should have been told about under CEPA 1996 rules, which never actually occurred as it should have done. So in a nutshell, to learn more about what was submitted to the CCRC on the 3rd of February 2026, go and look at my website, circusofthemind.net. There's some legal documents there, there's videos, there's information, but there's tons of other stuff that the CCRC have also been given, which I can't talk about because of legal privilege and such. But believe me, they've got tons of reasons why my convictions are unsafe. One of which, just one of them, is the fact that material non-disclosure, the fact that under CEPA 1996 rules, the police and CPS failed massively to tell me things they should have done, and that alone renders the conviction unsafe.